For years ago, Morocco walked into a World Cup semi-final carrying more than a football team. They were carrying a country. They were carrying Africa. They were carrying the Arab world. They were carrying every underdog who had ever been told, "You don't belong here." And then France ended the dream. 2 goals, 1 final whistle. And just like that, Morocco's fairy tale was over. But here's the thing about football. Some defeats don't disappear. They stay in the dressing room. They stay in the memory. They stay in the hearts of the fans who watched their team come so close to history. And now, for years later, Morocco are back. Same opponent, same World Cup stage, same feeling in the air. Only this time, Morocco are not coming to surprise the world. They are coming to settle something. Morocco's revenge mission has officially begun. Welcome to Scorer, where local passion meets global football. From the streets of Kenya to stadiums around the world, we bring you the stories, emotions, rivalries, and moments that make football more than just a game. And today, we are looking at one of the biggest stories of this World Cup, Morocco versus France, a rematch loaded with pain, pride, pressure, and revenge. In 2022, Morocco became the story of the tournament. They weren't supposed to go that far. They weren't supposed to take down giants. They weren't supposed to make the semifinal. But they did. They played with discipline. They defended like their lives depended on it. They broke opponents mentally before they broke them tactically. 9. Belgium fell. Spain fell. Portugal fell. And suddenly, Morocco were not just a team anymore. They were a symbol. Every tackle felt personal. Every clearance felt emotional. Every counterattack felt like history moving in real time. For the first time, an African nation had reached a World Cup semifinal. For the first time, millions of people across Africa and the Arab world looked at a World Cup semifinal and saw themselves in it. Then came France. And France did what France does. They didn't panic. They didn't care about the emotion. They didn't care about the fairy tale. They just found a way to win. Theo Hernandez scored early. Morocco pushed. Morocco fought. Morocco believed. But near the end, Randall Kolo Muani finished it. France 2. Morocco 0. The dream was dead. But the respect Morocco earned that night never disappeared. And that is what makes this rematch so dangerous. Because Morocco are no longer the cute underdog story. They are no longer the team people clap for just because they made it far. They are now a serious football nation with real expectations. And in 2026, they have proved it again. Against Canada, in the round of 16, Morocco didn't just win. They made a statement. Canada had the crowd. Canada had the energy. Canada had the advantage of being a co-host. But Morocco had something colder. Experience. They survived the pressure. They waited. They stayed calm. And then they punished Canada. Azzedine Anahi, one of the faces of that 2022 miracle, stepped up again. 2 goals. 2 moments of control. 2 reminders that Morocco's midfield is not just about running and fighting. It has intelligence. It has timing. It has class. Then Soufiane Rahimi came off the bench and added the third. 3-0. Clean. Clinical. Ruthless. That wasn't luck. That wasn't emotion. That was a team that knows how to win knockout football. And now, waiting for them in the quarterfinal, is the one team that still lives in their memory. France. The world champions of 2018. The finalists of 2022. A machine built for tournaments. France don't always need to look beautiful. They don't always need to dominate every second. They don't always need to entertain you. They just need one moment. And against Paraguay, that one moment came from the man who always seems to arrive when France need him most. Kylian Mbappé. A penalty. 1 goal. 1-0. France survived the pressure. They survived the physical battle. They survived the kind of ugly knockout match that destroys weaker teams. And that is the scary part. France can win when they play well. But they can also win when everything is uncomfortable. When the game is slow. When the opponent is aggressive. When the pressure starts rising. That is what champions do. But Morocco knows something too. They know France are not unbeatable. They know France can be dragged into uncomfortable spaces. They know if they close the middle, slow the rhythm, and force France into frustration, the match can become dangerous. Because Morocco's greatest weapon is not just talent. It is belief. They don't play like a team hoping to survive anymore. They play like a team that believes destiny owes them something. And that is why this game feels bigger than a quarterfinal. This is not just Morocco versus France. This is memory versus power. Emotion versus control. A wound versus a machine. For France, this is another step toward another World Cup semifinal. For Morocco, this is the match that has been waiting for them since 2022. And think about the pressure on both sides. France are expected to win. That sounds like a strength, but in a game like this, it can become a trap. Because when everyone expects you to win, every minute without a goal feels heavier. Every Moroccan counterattack feels louder. Every tackle from Hakimi feels like a warning. Every run from Manahi feels like a reminder. Every save, every block, every chant from the Moroccan fans starts to change the atmosphere. And suddenly, France are not just playing 11 players. They are playing against history. They are playing against noise. They are playing against a team that already lost this story once and refuses to lose it the same way again. For Morocco, the key will be control without fear. They cannot just sit back for 90 minutes and hope. France have too much quality for that. Mbappé only needs one mistake, one gap, one bad step from a defender, 1 second where the line is too high, and the game can be gone. But Morocco also cannot become reckless. Revenge can be powerful, but revenge can also make you emotional. And knockout football punishes emotion. So Morocco need the perfect balance. Fight like it means everything. Think like it means nothing. That is the challenge. Because this is the kind of game where one detail can become eternal. One missed chance, one late run, one penalty, one red card, one set piece, one moment where a player decides that history is not something you wait for. It is something you take. And that is what makes this story so powerful. Morocco are not trying to recreate 2022. They are trying to finish what 2022 started. Back then, reaching the semifinal was enough to shock the world. Now it is not enough. Now Morocco want more. They want to beat the team that stopped them. They want to prove that the first run was not a miracle. They want to prove that African football is not just catching up. It is coming. And from Kenya to Morocco, from local pitches to the biggest stadiums in the world, this is why we love football. Because sometimes, one match carries the dreams of millions. Sometimes, one team gives hope to every young player training on dusty grounds, small fields, and forgotten pitches. Sometimes, football reminds us that the world's biggest stories don't only belong to the traditional giants. They belong to anyone brave enough to fight for them. And France know it. They will not treat Morocco like a romantic story. They will treat them like a threat. Because that is exactly what Morocco are now. A threat. A dangerous, experienced, fearless knockout team with a nation behind them and a scar in front of them. And when the whistle blows, all the talk disappears. No more 2022. No more fairy tale. No more sympathy. Just 90 minutes. Maybe 120. Maybe penalties. Maybe heartbreak again. Or maybe the night Morocco finally gets the one victory that would change everything. Because if Morocco beat France, it will not just be a quarterfinal win. It will be revenge. It will be history. It will be the moment the Atlas Lions look at the football world and say, "We were not lucky. We were not finished. We were only getting started." Morocco's revenge mission has officially begun, and France are standing directly in the way. This is Scorer, real voices, real stories, from Kenya to the world. Subscribe for grassroots football stories, global football insights, honest analysis, player journeys, and the moments that define the beautiful game. Because here, football is not just watched. It is lived.